Welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene Randall, and this is Charlene Randall Financial. And we talk about a lot of things on this channel, including breaking news, real estate, tax, and more. So today I want to update you and let you know about tax season. The IRS has officially started to process returns today. Now, we just had a a big snowstorm. You could call it a big snowstorm because there was a lot of snow and a lot of buildings and regular activity were cut off due to the snowstorm. So some buildings are closed. The kids don't have school. Uh, FedEx and UPS, I know they are running slow. So you can't expect things to be perfect starting today, even though the IRS started to process returns. So now that they are processing returns, however, you can have your return done and sent off to the IRS. So it may probably be a little small delay, depending on how they are actually going to respond, because of people are not actually in the buildings. So let's get into. I want to talk about. So don't forget, before we get into that, if you want to process your return or get any assistance with your return, go to randallparalegal.com. So we're going to get into a story today. Kanye West. Let's look at this video here so we can actually talk about the latest from Kanye West.
Swastika on it were due to an undiagnosed brain injury acquired during a 2002. Kanye West is offering an apology. In a new essay, the rapper shares that many of his most controversial moments in recent years, including printing and selling a t-shirt with a swastika on it, were due to an undiagnosed brain injury acquired during a 2002 car accident. He writes in a letter published in the Wall Street Journal January 26. At the time, the focus was on the visible damage, the fracture, the swelling, and the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury, the one inside my skull, went unnoticed. West adds that due to not receiving comprehensive scans, his frontal lobe injury wasn't diagnosed until 2023. Quote, that medical oversight caused serious damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar type 1 diagnosis. The 48-year-old goes on to detail the side effects of his diagnosis, including the denial that anything is wrong, saying, the scariest thing about this disorder is how persuasive it is when it tells you you don't need help. It makes you blind, but convinced you have insight. You feel powerful, certain, unstoppable. And West, who shares 4 kids with ex-wife Kim Kardashian, says that amid his mental health struggles, he, quote, lost touch with reality and, quote, said and did things he regrets, saying, in that fractured state, I gravitated toward the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, and even sold t-shirts bearing it. One of the difficult aspects of having bipolar type 1 are the disconnected moments, many of which I still cannot recall, that led to poor judgment and reckless behavior that oftentimes feels like an out-of-body experience. He continues, I regret and am deeply mortified by my actions in that state, and am committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did though. I am not a Nazi or an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people.
So those are some of the quotes that he said in his letter, in his apology letter. And I just want to say, because I commend Kanye West for being able to come forward with this apology, because some people don't apologize, and some people, don't have the strength to apologize. So I do commend Kanye West for being able to do that. So, uh, you know, I really do think that he deserves an applause for that, because he has been through so much over the years. And he talked about 25 years ago, he was in a car accident, and there was some undiagnosed issues going on with him. Some people would not even open up to let the public know that these issues are even going on. So he's being open, he's letting people know that even in his time of dealing with these issues, that he basically did some things that he wants to take back and apologize for. So he retracted some of those statements that people called him, a monster about. So he retracted some of those statements. So he says comprehensive scans were not done, neurological exams were limited, and the possibility of a frontal lobe injury was never raised. It wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. The medical oversight caused serious damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar type 1 diagnosis. So, he, is stating how people labeled him crazy, and, all of these things, but did not really know the reasoning behind all of this. So, he says that, he loves Jewish people, because at one point he said some things, that the communities did not really take easily, and actually, kind of, there was some consequences behind it. So, he said he gravitated towards the most destructive symbol he could find, and even sold it on t-shirts. And, he says, to the Black community, which held me down through all of the highs and lows and the darkest of times. The Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I am so sorry to have let you down. I love us. So, he says in early 2025, he fell into a 4-month long manic episode of psychotic, paranoid, and impulsive behavior that destroyed his life. As the situation became increasingly unsustainable, there were times I didn't want to be here no more. Now, we all know Kanye West is a musical genius. So, with this happening, I just believe that, like I said, some people would not even open up to talk about this publicly. So, I think he deserves to retract statements in a time where he was going through something that nobody really knew about. So now that you know why Kanye did what he did, why Kanye is how he is, and he also is apologizing at this point. Now that you know these things, what do you think about this? How do you feel about Kanye West apologizing after this time? I know a lot of people in the different communities had a lot to say. He has millions and millions of fans, that listen to him talk and listen to his music. He has a lot clothing, that people buy from him, and actually represent him some sort of way, by wearing his clothes, listening to his music, and what do you think now about this? Does this change the way that you feel about Kanye? Because a lot of people basically, wanted to, at different times say, we're going to cancel Kanye. I can't believe he did this. Why would Kanye West do something like this? What is he thinking? But you never know what someone is going through. You never know what someone is thinking. And so he did get out here into the public and basically apologize to whoever he may have offended during those particular times. So like, comment below, and subscribe to this channel if you are not subscribed here. Also, if you need tax preparation, don't forget to go to the link below and click the button, and it'll take you over to the form to get started with your tax preparation. So like this video, don't forget, it helps me to continue to make good content for you. So like, subscribe to the channel, and also let me know, comment below, and let me know what you think about this new revelation about Kanye West and what he has just said to the public.